Wow. Seemed to be the Dolly Madison thing about the leaves on the thing about the memory of front page. Houston Chronicle Parade front page. Marie Osmond and the blue satin. Yeah, thing about it. Yeah. Yeah, when and where, very much about during Robert E. Rubin on television to a great, phenomenal amount, unlike any other that I've seen on television going through the circuit. Yeah, yes indeed. Yeah. So anyway, so it's Donnie Maria Osmond. Hmm. Is it the thing? Is it the thing of CC's Leaning Tower of Pisa? Is it the rectangle of Samsung refrigerator? The French doors of the night vision? Is it the night vision of Aaron's? Mr. T, is it the night vision? Is Mr. T representing the political science? Is it election year? Is it the absentee voting you're looking for? Is it the pi r squared volume you're looking for? I mean, is that like relationship and architecture and platform, or is it like a degree level reputable standards of consensual participation, or is it the equator issue, whether or not it's above the equator? A reputable standards of consensual participation, or is it just like a opportunity thing, but only what options maybe might only present as availability is really what I mean. If it's really getting to what a degree level is, I mean, in every possible way, and only in international law having fair use of access easement of currencies, of many monies, of currency, using currency only of the U.S. dollar. Um, what I see the potential of what comptrolling is to litigation, whether litigation is even the word, based upon what venue is, or what seemed to be, if governance is the only participating factor of jurisprudence, or what color code of pastel green is to the book, being the pastel green and the black back of jurisprudence is the colors of the book of jurisprudence. Yeah. The thing about Univision seems to be they used two sets. If my memory, believe me, I was just going to the drum shop, and Univision wasn't there when I first started going to the drum shop to get my drumsticks. I normally ProMark, the natural, what was then not really the natural, yet coated with lacquer, until I got to it, until I saw the kind of eccentric, you know, line around the center, what would be normally a visual of a V-twin figure eight drumstick twirl. Just as a visual, not necessarily the center line itself, a little eccentric that way, just for a visual alignment, really. But really, balance is ultimately, an automatic thing, whether it's like a visual of like, just like what would normally be, in my mind, maybe a beginner, just learning how to twirl as a two-finger V-twin, as a panoramic academia, peripheral tolerance even, of, ambidextrous thing about, both V-twin being the deal about, really, the thing about it. Or Y2K. That's amazingly true. Y2K, huh? A drumstick and a V-twin, huh? Y2K, huh? Huh. And the orchestration. Is it available in closed caption for the hearing impaired, huh? Soundspot 9090, Robin Williams, More for More, huh? The Eggman. Fly Be Free thing, huh? Yeah, anyway, so like the FCC and the AAA thing seem to be the thing about Paul going through the circuit in Europe and Rome, and what Italy is to CC's Pizza and a Leaning Tower of Pisa, huh? Wow. So, I mean, ultimately, it seems to be getting to the map in the back of the book of Phoenicia. It's amazing, like telephone, or the phone-o-graph thing, huh? The O, the phone, huh? PHON. What is that? 29, 30, 40, 45, 55. It's like 58 and star. The alphanumerics of the symbolic representation with three simple methods of addition. Ultimately, the symbolic representation ultimately get to the same letters. Not that it has to be Hot Cafe, because when I was like actually doing it, it seemed to be like the only simple thing about in my mind of three representing Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. The thing about why one pronoun cannot be used as a subject. Maybe it's the difference between Holy Spirit and Holy Ghost, and maybe I just really didn't know, or maybe that seemed to be the factor. Alphanumerically, I mean, the way it's practiced, obviously, knowing the difference alphanumerically is obviously a difference in alphanumerics. So, in any case, yeah. So, I was thinking about the CC's Pizza, the CI, and the Apple iPhone SE, and the difference between like the recent statute and the IRA. The difference of SE in language being yes, C, yet in pronunciation still a vision. The thing about the 88 and 107, with the S, it seemed to be like 19, the century deal of like 19. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the thing about that, what I'm thinking about, yeah, and whatever it is I'm thinking about, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it and think about it, yeah. So anyway, yeah, the vision and visions with the S19 being 88 and 107 divisions, and the thing with this is like I have a Pearl Vision drum set, okay, and when I got it, I mean, it was just that I really liked the way it looked, okay, and the thing with this is like when I saw it when it was available, the Pearl Vision drum set in a Strata Red, I was going to get blue, and I'm still probably thinking about going to go ahead and get the blue. I don't think it's called Strata Blue. I know it's Strata Red because that's what I have. In any case, I'd like to get a blue one. I'm not sure if it's actually, I was told that, but I've heard a lot. I've heard it all before. But anyway, it's kind of like during that time, I mean, it seemed like international import and exporting was like rotating their entire networks. Well, it might be like a stationary, like a fixture in real estate, like your television, doing that, and not on your laptop. Like I was realizing it was happening on my laptop when I purchased that Pearl Vision drum set. I bought it as a 5-piece. And then it started getting to be importing and exporting, like rotating, like from all around the world, what Pearl Drums is to a drummer. And I was kind of like going, you got to be kidding me. And, I had to wind up, making special purchases all over the United States and Japan. And, some of the information was like thrown back at me as China. And I'm not excluding that fact, but the thing with this is that I purchased one bass drum from Japan. I mean, I'm looking at my laptop and really the thing of it is, all that being available was only like on my internet, and the availability of something that was like something that really was going on during the 1995, 96, and 97 thing seemed to be like a period of some real serious stuff of like the future, and even being able to grasp that some retroactive thing in my mind, really something about the drum set, and yeah, and other factors, even the furniture thing about it. And if Star Furniture is different by design, Star Furniture is the only thing about the Stargate program. Yeah, well, something about the future, was like not, it's kind of like really for real. The drum set and an experience of that happening and not even realizing a situation. And retroactively, I mean, it's almost like the anticipation of, I mean, of like a financial advisor as compared to all that combined with like what it is to economics and what would be presented as a manufacturer geographic option based upon personality and style, and not necessarily, I don't know if I'd really call it a profile, but like maybe not necessarily, I don't want to call it demographic in a way of like I don't like the thought of just because demographic might be the thought of everyone using it as a demo, really has been that, and even knowing sometimes is ridiculously not always like going to be possible, or even recognizes even knowing something in a way of how controlled really an entire lifetime, if not generations, really is at certain levels of what management means, whether it's even a known fact. I mean, so for real, not funny. Well, anyway, it's kind of like something about the future was like going on retroactively that actually the memory seemed to be the deal about the human capital and like Austin Powers, and in a way of like I-35 in Austin, and what memory minus de facto really is of like 35, or what Highway 35 in Pearland is, as if it's only going to be an issue of scale, or what powers and principalities is, and the deal about the degree. But anyway, yeah, so like I was thinking about the triple A of towing, which is also terminology and pronunciation of like importing and exporting like big time ships, the towing thing, or the thing about triple A, and really whether or not if it's just going to be a Federal Communications Commission. It seems to be like almost like now the Mr. T thing, the A team thing about the alphanumerics of 40. I'm actually trying to place my thought automatically. I think of like the movie North Dallas 40, and blue automatically the sky and the 55 thing of manufacturers, and something I'm really looking at as a coupon, yeah, prepaid postage, yeah. So in any case, yeah, it's amazing how a current resident, it's the deal about the, communication of normally advertisement. In any case, yeah, that's something I was thinking about because in any case, it ultimately seems to be like a Calamity Jane thing. But I was thinking something about the summit meeting and Jane Russell. Is it the Cross Your Heart? Jane Russell, 24-hour Cross Your Heart, brah. Huh? Jane Russell, Calamity Jane, huh? Prepaid postage. Been to a summit meeting, huh? Huh. Amazing, Jane Russell and Calamity Jane. Can you believe it? Calamity Jane, huh? An Homish artesian columnist, huh? Articles of incorporation seem to be like something of the column. Even newspaper like the Houston Post would be. Uh, what would maybe be the thought of closed caption for the hearing impaired if there's going to be a separation between church and state? Is that really the truth of Univision and the Houston Post? Deposition is normally referring to, in legal terminology, as like um, a memory of a video, as a legal media, not necessarily available in closed caption for the hearing impaired issue. And if, ratifying and codifying only determines whether or not if a dimensional clause only defines the oldest computer mainframe, the oldest governmental computer mainframe as the Whopper, normally associated automatically, the burger, right? The Burger King and the Kingsmanship and what the deal is with it's moot. Yet in practice, in law students and law firms, practicing law in court in situational cases or actual cases, based upon the content of whether litigation is not considered something of a de facto, or if de facto is only set up as demographic, or if memory minus de facto represents before, during, and after what the history of a television screen, or Technicolor means to Pastel and Harris and Union and Israeli, and the difference between the oldest governmental mainframe called the Whopper, or the bird issue of like the Israeli flag in code blue, the Israeli flag, and the Whopper and the Whoopa, the bird, the blue and purple bird of Israel. The Alphanumeric 128. Once again, it seems to be ultimately, like FM 528 in NASA, in the way of like a FM 528 and the actual thing about Nostradamus and why I'm actually going to present a little bit more information about why Nostradamus and his accuracy of predictions of Orson Welles. It seemed to be the inaugural deal about the Well of Awesome. A presidential level of inaugural, like an entrance of military. The highest possible score of 2,400. 24 being like residential of neighborhoods. Amazingly, the yays and nays, huh? Is it a pro? Is it yes? And I'm saying everything because yes, I'm really talking about. Is it the not YouTube issue that is presenting the nay? It has not happened. The no, the yay or nay is it a veto based upon whether or not if YouTube is the one and only of governors, huh? Or written. Well, what does that represent? Available in closed caption for the hearing impaired and teleprompting, or is it the identity of exact opposite of like a available in closed caption, or is it the thought of a kingsmanship and the 200-mile protected waters around the United States representative of only what a king and a castle would represent to the word moot, a deep trench with water around it with a bridge. In legal terminology, in the Black's Law Dictionary, the same pronunciation, M-O-O-T, is law students practicing in the courtroom, and it's identified as moot, yet not identified normally as on behalf, or management, or representation, or a rep in the way of exclusionary rule provision of sovereign immunities, governmental amnesties, and executive powers. Normally not even identified in any kind of way, related or associated that way, and obviously it really is. Is it that it has to represent maybe what a patent pending is only to a method of banking, even a direct deposit in a bank representing, commercial paper? Is it a venue, or is it still a residential issue? Is it storage, or is storage like a ergonomic, or kind of non-degreed, kind of really not degreed, or above the equator and the operator, and the especially valued thing of what corporations are really about, of the entity and what 144 is to even 12 tribes of Israel, being, of the 144,000, and what 1,000 normally means to a millennium, or Grover Cleveland, and, Zion, 1,000 years apiece, and zero being operator, and 108 in Chevrolet, and, yeah, the Bicentennial, and Chevrolet itself, and quite a bit more. So, I mean, I was kind of like thinking about that with the Leaning Tower of Pisa and the French doors, as compared to what a fixture in real estate might represent as a mechanic's lien. Normally, a fixture being used in real estate is a deed restriction. I mean, is it really only the issue of a yay or a nay? Or a professional, like, I mean, is it required as both? For it in the beginning was a word. Is that only the telephone, huh? Or is it like Univision and like the Houston Post, huh? The exact opposite. Still below, on the downside, on the south side, at a diagonal, the exact opposite of a 247 degree, a governor's president. 247. Seems to be the big deal about even like a 12-hour clock when it's 8:05, it's time to rock. Yeah, the summit meeting thing about concerts, huh? The summit in Geneva, Switzerland, and what that is to human capital and human civil rights is only available in closed caption for the hearing impaired, only suggesting teleprompting, the exact opposite of what like you're looking and listening to, watching and listening to me talk right now, as compared to what legal media is, as compared to deposition. I mean, is that the separation between church and state available in closed caption for the hearing impaired, or is it like not knowing? I mean, how long YouTube has been available? Really, I'm not sure. I was still involved with like music and audio, but like there was like a requirements of participation that actually equate to what a itemization means. I mean, if taxation is only the issue of alphanumerics, it ultimately seems to be the deal about the terabyte and 1,024 gigabytes. Getting to the issue of FM 1128. Probably right at 5/8 of a mile from here. Amazing. The difference between 1128 and 1,024 gigabytes being 1 terabyte, huh? The alphanumerics of 104, taxation, annuity, and electronics. It's amazingly really not funny to me. Anyway, so like there's the deal about that, and something in my mind of what Paul going through a circuit is to the euro dollar, or the thought of even CC's pizza. And I've been thinking about the AAA and what towing is to maritime law, and importing and exporting what it is in transportation of the American Idol and RPM, or what the American Idol is, and manufacturers of just pronunciation, and what idling is to transportation, as compared to relationship of architecture and platform, or what embedded encryption is. I mean, if it's a degreed level of like reputable standards of consensual participation, is it only is it a dimensional clause of third person, only representing what opportunity might only suggest in third person, of non-negotiable, non-transferable itemization, as an easement of maybe only what opportunity presents as availability, or if it's like really all above the equator, is really ultimately in my mind what it's really about, whether it's degreed or non-degreed, or or what access means, or whether or not if a compliment or privilege is really the issue of just being in my mind now, as my thought of being a United States citizen normally didn't really represent national anthems of like multiple countries and nations of different monies of international banking systems. But the Jose Can You See by the dawn's early light seemed to be the deal about nano units of measuring light of density, luminance measured in density of nano units by the dawn's early light. Nano units, huh? Night vision, huh? By the dawn. Likewise, and the exact opposite, dusk. A principle of like nano units in night vision. Very much so, amazingly true. Jose, can you see? The degree, the Jose, huh? The equator, the zero, the operator, the degree, 0 thing, huh? Whew. Jose, can you see? Huh? Does that mean that it's only available in closed caption for the hearing impaired? Is that the only distinguishable difference of legal media and deposition? Jose, can you see? By the dawn. Amazing. Abraham Lincoln seemed to be the thing about night vision. Even the thing about the question in the movie Weird Science, and in my mind J. Edgar Hoover, about the amphibious thing, yet hover, and hover is like the pi r squared, a perfect 10-10 vision of 90-degree right angles of pi r squared, using the same pronunciation, a practical application of principle to itself in a different way. And all the information is there. It's kind of, many students, I'm sure, it's kind of like going, wow, you got to be kidding me. Even I, when I like actually, so it says squared. You know, if it's not pi r squared identifying a radius, if the radius is not identifying an automatic half of the approximation, because using pi being the pi as compared to the pie being 30, baby Bible map or Vantage Love 30, or the pronunciation pi, or the exact opposite of IP Internet Protocol, or the pi of pi 3.1416, or the 14 and 16 together being 30. Yeah, of the actual spelling and pronunciation of PIE at both the PI and still within itself. I mean, with the 3.1416, 14 and 16 is 30, like spelling of PIE, yet the pronunciation of PI, the exact opposite of IP, Internet Protocol. And it's amazing, like almost like a CC pizza thing, really about it, yeah. And what AAA is, in that way, it's a Vantage Low 30, or, code 10. Code is 27 is actually an A, because Z is 26, and 27 is actually A. Code. Yeah, code's annotated, huh? I mean, is that the one thing about the cube and isometrics of three-dimensional? I mean, is that really all it is? Yeah, for real. Anyway, I'm going to take a break. I'm already talking more than really I'd intended to, but really, not really at all, but yeah, I'm taking a break. So anyway, there it is, okay?